I'm Steve Jasper, and I'm the jet lag guy. Welcome to this week's episode of Jet Lag in the News. From Nevada, there's been chronobiology research in wildland firefighters and social jet lag, looking at biological markers such as inflammatory and oxidative stress responses. The results were, quote, in wildland firefighters, misalignment between chronotype and training schedules impacted inflammatory biomarkers, suggesting greater susceptibility to stress-induced physiological disruptions among those experiencing higher social jet lag. Social jet lag, which is typically caused by shift work, results in negative impacts on health. And these studies provide, quote, compelling evidence that aligning daily activities, especially physical exercise, with individual circadian preferences can optimize health, enhance performance, and improve overall quality of life. These findings highlight the critical importance of considering chronotype and circadian rhythms in occupational health and general public health interventions. So great work from Elias Milek at University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and important messages for those with social jet lag as well as ordinary jet lag. More research on chronobiology out of America. There was a study done in mice. I seem to have had a lot of mouse studies across my desk recently, and this examined the sex difference in simulated jet lag in mice. The researchers found that female mice resynchronized faster than male mice to a 6-hour advance of the light dark cycle, which mimics eastward travel. The mechanism of adjustment involves the female sex hormone estrogen, and female mice had had their ovaries removed took longer to resynchronize to the new time zone. First the UK, now Western Australia. Melatonin has been detected in gummies for children in West Australia. There had been a massive jump in the number of overdoses in West Australia, mostly children who had taken too many gummies that got stomachache and sleepiness. Melatonin is a prescription-only drug except for people aged over 55 years in Australia, but it was being bought online from the US company iHerb. Sales for the product have been suspended. A woman's Apple Watch literally saved her life. After returning from a trip to Costa Rica, her watch kept alerting her to a low heart rate, which she put down to a case of jet lag, having flown east through 7 time zones. Her fatigue and low heart rate didn't go away, so she had her blood pressure checked and found a manageable heart condition. Her headaches also didn't go away, and it turned out to be a brain tumor. Thankfully, the tumor is benign, and she's grateful that the watch saved her life. Jet lag is not always the problem. Passengers in a recent easyJet flight were treated to what can only be described as mid-air-robics. A cabin crew member directed people through a series of yoga stretches after takeoff. While this won't do anything much for jet lag, this is brilliant for preventing deep vein thrombosis, another potentially serious consequence of long-haul flights. I'm absolutely on board with this trend, and even if you don't have a yoga instructor on board your flight, you should still move your body around a little bit on board. The United States just had the Labor Day weekend, and there have been extensive delays at Newark Airport, with communication issues between controllers and pilots cited as the reason. Passengers have been delayed on average 2.5 hours for their flights on one of the busiest weekends of the year for travel. The delays follow a series of problems at Newark Airport in the spring that were caused in part by continuing shortages of air traffic controllers and a series of outages at the Air Traffic Control Center and concerns by controllers and their equipment. There was also work on the runway which limited landing and takeoff numbers. Is Newark the problem child of American airports? Farmageddon was on the 23rd of August. For those of you who don't know, Farmageddon is a rivalry match of American college football played between Iowa State University and Kansas State University. It's sponsored by the Irish airline Aer Lingus, therefore it's played in Dublin, so everyone's jet lagged. That's how I found out about it. This year, Iowa defeated Kansas 24-21. Post Farmageddon, the Iowa State team flew back to the States where they defeated South Dakota 55-7. So no sign of jet lag for Iowa State. Maybe they're listening to my advice. There will now be a 2-year hiatus in Farmageddon, which is extremely disappointing. If you're a fan of college football, particularly this game, let your feelings be known. I love Farmageddon. This has been the big news of the week in terms of social media interactions. Just giving you a little peek behind the scenes, I see how many people interact with my posts and where they're from. And this post has blown it out of the water, with visitors mainly from Switzerland. Nearly all from Switzerland, in fact. So this is a shout out to my Swiss audience. German TV star Verona Pooth had intended to move overseas and originally wanted to move to Los Angeles. However, the distance and jet lag between LA and Germany is horrendous. There's a 9-hour time zone difference between the two. So instead, she moved to Dubai, which is a lot closer to Germany and only a 3-hour time zone difference. One way to beat jet lag is to not cross too many time zones. So well done, Verona Pooth. If you have any questions or want to know more about what I do, check out my website at www.jetlagguy.com.au. There's another book on the way, and you'll be the first to know when it's released. Week's jet lag in the news. I'm Steve Jasper, aka the Jet Lag Guy.